So here are some feedback don'ts. Don't say, I loved it, or I hated it, or that was interesting, because those are incredibly vague statements that don't tell us what is working, what's not working, and how we can make it better. Don't tell us how you would do it if you were the writer or director. While it can be helpful to brainstorm and get somebody else's perspective, I would offer suggestions for what to change or how to change it after asking first. And as I said in the other video, it's best to try and put yourself in the perspective of the particular filmmaker that you're watching their video or reading their script. But from your artistic perspective, it doesn't really matter. And some of the worst comments I've ever gotten were from people who are like, well, if I was doing it, I would do it X, Y, and Z. And it is completely irrelevant to what I'm trying to do. And the last don't is don't talk about sound design unless the project is actually in post sound design, which from a traditional workflow happens after you have picture locked, which means you are editing picture and trying to focus on telling your story through the visual edit first before you lock it and then move on to post sound design. And you're not spending any time or money to really clean up the sound much. And as every filmmaker should know, every time you set your camera down in any particular direction, you are capturing a different ambience from whatever is going on there in the direction that your microphone is pointing. And especially on wide shots, when the microphone can't get very close to the actors, you're going to just get a ton of ambient noise captured in those wide shots. So when you're editing a variety of shot sizes together and from various different directions, you're going to get this kind of Darth Vader boom and hiss changing as the ambient noises shift. And that can be really distracting. And I understand it's hard to evaluate the story and the picture edit when the sound is so distracting. So watch a cut several times before you kind of formulate your comments so that you can get over the fact that the noise is shifting so much, because that will be fixed in post sound design once the person has locked picture. So don't comment on all of that stuff in sound until they're actually closer to mixing the sound and they want to know, are these levels working? Can you understand the dialogue? And things like that. Now, at the same time, it is important to make sure you have temp music and temp sound effects so that people can evaluate picture properly. Because watching a movie without music or sound definitely changes the pacing and the feel of those shots. So you want to have something that approximates what you plan to do in post sound design. The same is true for visual effects. Have some kind of proxy there.